Hi everyone, welcome to Pilates with Debbie. A little bit about me for those who haven't done one of my classes before. If you want to fast forward this, I do feel free to go ahead and just fast forward here. So yeah, I've been doing Pilates now for the last 15 years. I started after I had a premature menopause. Following that, I found out that I had the onset of osteoporosis, and my bones started to crumble and become weak. And then I prolapsed a disc. Following that, I did look into alternative rather than taking medication all the time. So Pilates came up, I looked into it, and I haven't turned back. I find great benefit from Pilates, and I hope that if you too have any issues with, the onset of osteoporosis, with weakening of bones, perhaps your stability and your mobility purposes, then this works for you. Also, it's great just for plain exercise and for looking after your body, toning, etc. So sometimes in the classes I use hand weights. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using them today, but if you have got them and you want to have them nearby in case we do decide to use them, then that's great. If you would like to use them and you don't have weights, you could perhaps use 4 water bottles. That would be good. We're going to lay down on the mat, we're going to take a little bit of focus in and look at our bodies internally, and I think I'm going to focus today on stretching, maybe releasing our body back out. I do feel rather tight myself. I haven't done a class for a couple of days, and I'm feeling that I need to stretch out, so hopefully if you feeling the same, you can have a good stretch too. So we're going to start by laying down, as I said. You can come down from your side, come down from the left if you have low blood pressure, or you can come down from a seated position. We don't just drop back, we come down in what is known as the C curve. Okay, in Pilates as well, we always breathe in through the nose and we breathe out through the mouth. Each time we breathe in, we pull in our core. Each time we breathe out, we pull in the core even more. So we're holding it as tight as we can. The tighter and the harder we hold our core, the more support we're going to get for our spine. Okay, so here we've got our core tight. Take our hands out. As we're coming down, if you find yourself, you're not being able to hold yourself from the core, then take your hands behind your legs and hold on from there. Okay, otherwise you're just going to come down very slowly to the floor, all the way down, and release your hands overhead. Now, if you've got lower back issues and you don't want to stretch your legs long, take the mat width apart, the feet, and lock the knees in together. You can still do your full body stretch from here, making sure that you pull in the core and you're pushing your lower back into the floor as you stretch. Okay, don't arch the back. We want it flat and we want to push for our stretch there. Otherwise you can do a full body stretch, legs long, stretching out. Really stretch that body. And then release. Okay, taking your hands down to your side, everybody, palms facing up. If you have your legs long, take the feet up their mat width apart. And we're going to lay here. We're going to take a big deep breath in through the nose. And release through the mouth. Do that again, big breath in. And breath out. And just move the head, just rolling it gently from side to side. We're releasing out the neck here now. If you want to close your eyes, then do so. Then come into centre. We're going to take an in-breath, pulling in our core. And as we breathe out, pulling the core in even more, we're just going to lift our chin to chest. Okay, the shoulders are not coming up, it's just the chin to chest. Holding it there, taking another breath in, pulling in the core. Breathing out, pulling the core even more, and release your head back down to the floor. When it's there, release the core and release everything around the back. So we're now laying perfectly still, letting everything just relax and looking internally as how our body's feeling right now. If there's areas that you need to work on throughout the class, focus on that. Just scan yourself from the tips of your toes, over your legs, over your core, your torso, your chest, your hands and your arms, your neck and your shoulders, and your head. Relax Relax your face muscles. Allow the cheekbones to relax and the eyes. Just lay there for a few moments with your eyes closed if possible. Just checking in with your body. Now let's start to bring some movement to the body. So you're going to wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes, and then you're going to take your arms back overhead and give yourself another little stretch here. Breathing out. Everybody feet up, mat onto the floor, taking the knees in together, taking your arms out to the side, then part the knees, taking in breath, pulling in that core, and as you breathe out, drop your legs over to one side, and then release again there. Feel the stretch here now, and just a very tiny, gentle stretch, little spinal stretch here, stretch maybe along the calves, maybe along the thighs. You might even find a little bit of tightness in the glutes that's now having its stretch. That's good. But we don't want any pain. On the next in-breath, pulling in the core, and at the same time, legs to centre, reach to the top, breathing out, keeping the core tight. Breath in, pull that core tighter. Breath out, core as tight as you can. Legs over to the opposite side and release. I'm feeling it in my hamstrings right now and my thighs. Don't know about you guys. And the next in-breath, pulling in that core. Same time, legs to centre, reaching the centre and breathing out. Okay, we're going to take our legs together now. So we've got ankles together, thighs and knees together. We're not going to cross our ankles. We're just going to breathe in and we're going to lift our legs up. If we can't do it from the core, if we've not quite got enough core strength to lift the legs up, because we don't want to be taking the lift from the lower back, take behind your legs and pull them up. So breathing in, pulling in the core, lifting those legs up from the core, breathing out, pull the core tighter, and hug those legs in. A nice stretch now, opening out the lower and the mid-spine, and then release. Do that again, breath in, breath out, and release. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves up to standing now. So take yourself over to your side, the left-hand side if you have low blood pressure, and push yourself up. Come up onto all fours, onto your knees, curling those toes under and pushing yourself back. Push up the knees and then gently with your fingertips on the floor, push yourself up into a hanging pose and just hang here for a few moments. Legs should be hip width apart. Don't want legs out here, no one has hips that wide. And just hang. Feel the stretch down the back of the legs, down the body. Taking hold of opposite elbows if you wish. And then releasing the hands. We're going to come up. We're going to do a few these Pilates roll up, roll downs. We're going to do a few of these. And head up. So what we do here is we stand nice and tall. So we've got our glutes squeezed tight, we're standing as tall as we can, our shoulders are back and down, and we're in one long line all the way up to the top of the head. We take an in-breath, pull in that core, and we tilt our head down as we start to breathe out. Keeping our body straight, we start to come down now, the shoulders start to come over. And then we start to come down, the upper back starts to come down, the mid-back follows, and finally the lower back. So you might get to here, that's fine. You come down to where your body allows you to, and you have a hang there. You take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you start to bring yourself slowly, one vertebrae at a time, all the way back up. Now, you might not be able to do this with one breath in, one breath out. So if you're doing more breaths as you're coming up, in and out, each time keep the core tight. So the mid-back follows the lower, then the upper back, and the shoulders will go back and down, the neck comes up, and finally the head. Okay, we're going to do a few of those in your own time, in your own breath, feeling and wakening up the spine, opening it, ready for stretching. Don't forget to keep those glutes tight, I should say, not tight. They probably are tired. One more time. Standing tall. Okay, we're going to try and do some standing hamstring stretches now. So if you need to be near a wall or you need to be near something to support yourself, then do so. But get yourself nicely, let's walk out our ankles first actually, give ourselves a little walk, waking up the ankles a little bit now. Okay, and then standing on one leg, I choose my right leg first, you choose whichever leg you prefer, and then we're lifting up the leg, we're taking hold of it with the same arm, and we're lifting it up, and we're giving it a stretch. Okay, I need to come off the mat. Unfortunately, at the moment, I'm trying to balance on a mat on carpet, it's not great. So I do need to get a new floor in here. Feel that stretch all the way down the front of the thigh there. Holding it, keeping the core tight, standing tall, and then release. And turn around, or I'm going to turn around so that you can see. And you're going to take the other leg, so nice and firmly in the floor, taking hold of the leg, lifting up and pulling it nice and tight. Oops, here I go again, gosh. And stretching it. Releasing it down. Okay, so we're going to come down now from our roll up, and we're going to go into a downward dog. Downward dog is going to stretch everything, okay? It's going to stretch our back, our legs, our arms. It's going to help to build up some bone density if we lose anything, because it's real good muscle workout here. So as you know, the muscles become bigger, it promotes the bones to create new cells. Obviously, as you get older, the cells grow slower than what they do when you're younger. As you're younger, as you lose them, that you create them. As you get older, you lose cells quicker, or new cells quicker than what you can make them. So by promoting our muscles and giving the bones the opportunity to create more cells, that's what we're aiming to do. So standing nice and tall now, shoulders back and down, head up, breathing in. And as you breathe out, allow the head to go down. Keeping the back straight as you can until it starts to come over. Just one vertebrae very slowly down to the floor. Then walking your arms out. Come down onto your all fours. Allow the feet to release for the moment. We'll do a couple of cat-cows and then we'll go into our downward dog. So with cat-cow, I like to actually roll through the spine. Okay? So rather than just up and down, which, you know, some people like to do, and if you prefer to do it that way, then do so. I like to roll through my spine. So I'm rolling round, I'm coming through, and I'm pushing my spine up here. I'm opening the neck, and then I'm coming back through, and I'm pushing up with the arms, and then I'm going back down again, and I'm rolling the spine. I'm allowing the spine to work. Nice arch in the back there, pushing up, really push up, keeping the core tight and then releasing. Okay, so taking your hands, just one hand forward from where you are, so you're now out of alignment, curling your toes under. You're going to push your glutes back onto your heels. You're going to take an in-breath, and as you breathe out, lift the heels off of the floor and push yourself up into that downward dog. Okay, so you're going to take the weight into your arms. What you're aiming to do is push your chest forward to your thighs and feel the stretch throughout the whole body. Every part of your body is going to feel this. You're going to feel it down the legs, the arms, the back. Just holding it there. Enjoy that stretch. If it's too much on your arms, you can come down to what is known as double fin with the forearms on the floor and push yourself back from there. You're still going to get an excellent stretch and an excellent push and breathe out there. Breathing in, breathing out. Now let's start to walk out the feet again. We've already walked them out once. We're going to wake the ankles up again a little bit more. Stretching them out, stretching the back of the calves here. Right up onto those toes and then push down again. Don't worry if your heels don't come on the floor. We're going to try and do a little underarm stretch here. So just a tiny one, it's a tiny torso stretch. So you take one arm off the floor, you take hold of the opposite ankle. Now if that's too much for you, just stay here. Otherwise take hold of the opposite ankle and use that as leverage to just gently pull yourself under. Relax. Don't hold any tension. And then release. Bringing that hand back down. Let's try that on the opposite side. Taking your hand around to the opposite calf and pulling yourself under. Totally relax. Then taking that arm back, bringing the knees down to the floor. We're going to take a little child's pose. Now you can do it with knees mat width apart, toes locked in, sitting down onto your heels and then bringing yourself down from here. If this is too much on your lower back, bring your knees in and go over from there. So wherever's comfortable for you, feel that little stretch. Using the arms, pull away on the mat and feel the opening across the top of the shoulders and the upper back. Big breath in, feel those lungs and then release. So you can have your arms here, you can have them down by your side. My favourite on the lower back there. then bringing yourself around, knees together, push yourself up onto all fours. So we're going to bring one leg through, and we're going to do a little lunge here. So we're going to come forward. Now the knee mustn't go any further forward than the toes, so we don't want to be up here doing this. We've got the foot forward and the knee is in line with the ankle, okay? And we're just going to get the inner opening of the inner hips now. Just breathe in, relax into that, feel the opening, feel the stretch. Then pushing yourself up and push yourself back, but don't start moving the foot. Keep the foot where it is and just allow the toes to come up and rest down over that knee there. You get a little stretch now around the back. Shoulders feel a bit stretching, and also you're going to get all the way down the hamstring and the calf. And then bringing that back up, taking that leg around. Let's take the other leg forward. So a nice opening here, and bringing yourself down. And feel that opening in the inner thigh here, in the hips. Relax into it. Don't hold your breath. Breathe into any points that you might find there's tension. Ask it to relax. Relax the glutes as well, because a lot of people tend to tense their glutes at this point, which is not what we want to do. Then push yourself back, keeping the foot where it is, the heel where it is, just lifting it up and dropping yourself over. Then bringing yourself up, bring that leg back round, and then we're going to bring the other leg through, and we're going to bring it over. We're going to come into what's known as pigeon pose. Okay, so, but it's sort of, I find that the best way to do this for me is that my hip bone goes into the heel of my foot. So actually, let me start the other way around so you can see where I am. So we've got our leg under, my heel here, and my hip goes into that heel, okay? And then you bring yourself down and you lower yourself over. Now you might just want to come here, you might even just stay here. You're still getting a stretch, okay? Or you can bring yourself down onto your forearms. You can bring yourself fully down, resting the head on the floor. Bringing yourself back up, bringing that leg round, and then just give it up into the air, give it a little bit of a shake, bring it back down, and take the other leg round, bringing it across, heel into the thigh, and then bring yourself down. Yourself up, bring yourself round onto all fours, and bring yourself so that you're seated down onto your knees. Okay. So we're going to do a little cobra now. Okay, so bring yourself down onto your tummies. Okay, and we're going to bring ourselves up. So we're going to start to feel stretch now around the lower spine. Okay, we're opening it out. We're not going to be pushing into the hands initially. Okay, so when you come up, I want you to be able to take your arms away. So resting your head on the floor, you've got your hands down by the side. Taking a breath in, pulling in that core, and as you breathe out, pull in the core even more. Push the pelvis into the floor below you and start to roll up from the neck. So then you're up here, okay, taking your hands away. Feel that along the length of the back. Holding it there, and then release back down. Let's do that again. Breath in, breath out. Pelvis pushing into the floor, pushing up. And now you can push into your hands and push yourself up. Feel the curve there. And then bringing yourself all the way back down. And do that again. Breath in, breath out. And back down. Okay, you can now, if you wish, you can come up into a full, what they call upward dog. That would be by taking the thighs off of the floor and you're just pushing up. So breathing in, breathing out, bringing your hands back further this time, so they're in line with your chest, bringing yourself up. And as you push up, full upward dog, looking up. And then come back down to the ground. Curl the toes under and push yourself back up. Okay, let's bring ourselves round. Let's do a little butterfly stretch. Okay, butterfly stretch. It's not my favourite, but it has a necessity and needs to be done. So we're sitting nice and tall, we're taking our hands around our feet and we're pushing the knees away down to the floor. So pushing the legs out nice and wide, sitting tall, keeping the core tight and push the legs down. And those that are really flexible, double jointed, their legs go right down to the floor. But it's not one of those ones for me. And feel that stretch, the inner thighs there, the hips opening out, stretching, back's nice and straight, so you're stretching along the back, and with using your arms, you know, you're working the arms as well because they're taking the strain. And then release. Bring those legs so that you're now slightly forward. Still got our feet together. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to bring ourselves down, but we're going to push our legs out. So using the elbows to push the legs down a little bit more. Coming forward, not too much because we're trying to work on the hip opening here. So we're pushing down. And then we're going to take the legs full along down in front of us. And we're going to breathe in, we're going to breathe out, and we're going to bring ourselves over. So you might just get to here. We don't just want hanging. You're not achieving anything by hanging. We need to stretch. We need to open the vertebrae. We need to stretch, and we need to feel those air going through our body rather than scrunching it up and constricting everything. So we're aiming for our chest to come towards our thighs, not that they, our calves, not that they're going to get there, but that's the way that we're going forward. We're not dropping. So bringing yourself down, bringing yourself forward, holding behind your feet and pulling. Gentle pulls, we don't want any pain. If you can keep the feet flexed, you get a better stretch than pointing them. bring yourself back up very slowly. Sitting tall, taking our legs wide. Going to do a little bit of side opening here. So we're going to take our arm, so it's inside of our leg, and we're going to push our body open, and we're going to take the arm up and over. Going to get an opening and a stretch down the side of the body there, keeping both seat bones on the floor, and using this arm for leverage for turning. And then you're going to come back up. Let's take that on the other side. So arm in nice and tight, pushing away and stretching. You should be able to see past your arm. We don't want the arm in front here. The arm is opening out. And we're stretching, lovely stretch down the side there. And bringing ourselves all the way back up. That's lovely. Okay. What are we going to do now? Okay, let's do our little spinal twist. So it's sitting up nice and tall here. So we've got one foot under here. And we're taking the other leg over the top. Sitting up nice and tall. This foot should be flat on the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, holding with the opposite arm around the leg. Taking this arm out and around the back. This is what we're going to be using as leverage. So we're going to push in with our fingers in the back and push ourselves tall. We're going to breathe in. And as we breathe out, we turn, using the back arm as leverage to pull yourself round. And this is a gentle seated twist. And then bring yourself back round. Let's take that on the other side. Opposite arm around leg, foot nicely flat on the floor, arm behind, pushing you up. Push yourself up nice and tall, taking an in-breath. And as you breathe out, use the back arm as leverage to twist you. And then coming back round. Okay, what I didn't say at the beginning of the class is that we need a band here. So if you've got a band, that would be absolutely brilliant, or a strap or something, maybe a dressing gown cord. If you haven't got anything else, we're going to do a seated twist with this. So get yourself ready to come down, grab a band or a strap that we can use. We're going to come down slowly one vertebrae. Okay, so we're going to take our arms out and we're going to come down from our C curve slowly. Okay, if that's too much for you, again, hold behind the thighs, or come down from your hamstring. Come down from your left hand side if you have low blood pressure. Okay, so arms out, and let's start to go down. Breath in, breath out. Keeping the core tight, breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Hold it, guys. Breath in, breath out. Hold it. Breath in, breath out. Hold it. Last time. Breath in, breath out. All the way down. Let's give ourselves a full body stretch before we go into our twist again. Okay, let's take our strap. So bringing one leg up, the other leg long down the floor. Taking the strap around your foot Now, if you haven't got a strap or anything, you can actually do it just without allowing you to come over, but it is actually quite nice to have the strap there for that little extra support. So taking the leg up in the air, okay, opposite arm out, long along the floor, breath in, keeping the core tight, breath out, allow that leg to drop over and look across to the opposite palm and feel that stretch. So you've got an inner thigh stretch, you've got hip opener, hamstrings might be pulling a little now. Breathe into points of tension. And a big breath in, pulling in the core. And at the same time, bring that leg back up to centre and let it go. Okay, let's take that on the other side. Leg up, other leg long down the floor. Keeping the other leg that's on the long, make sure that the foot's flexed, so it keeps it active. Opposite arm out, taking a breath in, breathing out, opening out that hip. Looking over to your opposite palm and breathing into any areas of tension, relaxing. Take an in-breath, and at the same time, holding the core, bring the leg to centre and allow it to relax. Okay, we're going to go for a little spinal twist a bit more. So going to come up into what is known as tabletop position. So keeping that core tight, one leg up, other leg up, arms out to the side. We're going to just drop our legs over to one side and then bring them up and drop them over to the other side. Bringing them up on an in-breath, on the out-breath, allowing the legs to drop over. In-breath, bringing the legs up, out-breath. In-breath, out-breath. This time stay there. Allow the legs to drop right over. And if you want to take an extra stretch, take the top leg away, hold on to the foot and stretch it. Look away to your opposite palm. Releasing that leg, taking an in-breath, same time bringing the legs up to centre, out-breath, all the way over to the other side, allowing your legs to relax and taking hold of that top foot, pulling it, looking up to your opposite hand. Releasing that leg on an in-breath, legs to centre, breathing out when you reach the top and allowing the legs to drop down. Okay, let's take our legs long down the mat. If it's too much and you're still not happy to do that, feet mat width apart, knees locked in. So legs long down the mat. We're going to go into a little bit of final relaxation now. So take our stretch, our full body stretch, wherever you are, stretch away. Really stretch and let it go. Bringing your arms round, taking a big in-breath through the nose, out through the mouth. real big in-breath. Do it again. In. And out. Excellent. Let's release that neck just a little bit more from side to side. Come into centre. Let's do that final lift. So pulling in the core with an in-breath. Out-breath, core tighter, chin to chest. Core tight as you breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly, 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 head down to the floor and let it go. Let everything go. Completely relax now. Let the weight of your body rest into the floor beneath you. So the toes are dropping outwards, the feet are heavy, and the heels of your feet heavy into the ground. Your calves are relaxed, your knees and your thighs. Relax the glutes, the pelvis and the lower core, your lower back and your mid-back, your tummy, your upper back and your chest, your fingers and your hands, your wrists and your lower arms heavy in the ground, your elbows and your upper arms, the shoulders, your neck, finally your head. Right, feel the weight of that head in the ground beneath you. Let your lips just relax. Your cheekbones and your eyes, your eyebrows and your forehead and your upper head. Your whole body in total stillness. Close your eyes if you can and start to have a look at your body. We're going to scan from the tips of our toes, along our legs, over our torso and our arms. Scan the shoulders and the neck, the head and the face. How does it feel now from the beginning to the end of the practice? Just a gentle movement of your natural breath now, rising and falling in your chest. Get a soft breeze, gently rising from the tips of your toes, flowing over your body, bringing with it a lovely warm sensation. It floats away and then comes back, and from the top of your head, over your torso and away through your legs. That breeze back and forth, relaxing you with each breath. And now just concentrate on your breath. Concentrate on the rise and fall of your chest. Any thoughts that come into your mind, just acknowledge them and let them go. Bring your thought back to your breath.
Let's start to wake our body up, bringing it back to the here and now. Wiggling our toes, wriggling our fingers. Taking an in-breath through the nose. Out through the mouth. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Do whatever you need to do to wake yourself up. And then when you're ready, drop yourself over onto one side. Left-hand side for low blood pressure. Making a pillow with your arm and resting your head. Big breath into the lungs. Really fill those lungs with an in-breath. Out with the out-breath. Let the stale there go. And then gently opening your eyes, pushing yourself up and bringing yourself round onto all fours. We're going to bring ourselves up to standing, but we're going to do it slow because we don't want any head rushes. So curling your toes under, fingertips into the floor and pushing your knees up. Still on your toes. Bring the fingertips a little bit closer and push yourself up so that the feet are flat on the floor, hip width apart, and then hang. Just hang there for a moment. Breath in and breath out. Then bend your knees quite a lot and taking your hands to your hips, gradually bring yourself up to standing as slow as you can, keeping the core tight all the way to standing. Excellent. Wow. Yourselves a little bit of a shake. Oh, lovely. Right, standing feet hip width apart. Big breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Last time, breath in. Bringing your feet together. Bringing your hands down to your heart chakra. Give yourselves a bow. And give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys. I hope you found that stretch useful. It's always nice to have a good stretch.